Alright, so James ran a quick load of shredded. I kind of showed you it was the stuff in the trailer, and kind of just some other miscellaneous stuff, miscellaneous shred lying around. So, 480 pounds, 130 a gross ton still, 27.86, so $28. That lift table probably was like almost half of that. Definitely close to half of that. So that's that's that quick little shred run. I would have also took like the batteries, maybe a little bit of the aluminum in. I would have thrown some other stuff in there to get rid of it. But I don't know about dumpster diving this weekend. This uh, the Weather Channel doesn't have the snow that bad, but this weekend we're supposed to get hit with a snowstorm, kind of like I don't know, kind of like I think it's supposed to be more like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing. I'm supposed to get it's lake effect, so I mean, depending where the band ends up, we could be talking feet of snow. Like I said, this doesn't make it sound that bad, just 1 to 3 inches, but it does say heavier amounts, persistent snow bands. So it is supposed to kind of move up north, settle up north, and then move in the south towns. It's kind of a back and forth kind of thing. So we'll see how it where it ends up. So I don't know about dumpster diving this weekend. And then the prices are up a little bit. I just wanted to show you real quick. Kind of else for my own records. Copper came up a little bit. Aluminum came up. I think brass came up a little bit. Copper aluminum rads came up to 95 cents. Batteries are still at 12, and stainless came up a little at 25. So prices did come up a tad bit. Like I said, I would have got rid of some of the aluminum we have lying around, and definitely the batteries, just to get them out of the way, because they're going to be in the way for the shed. Probably is going to need to be rearranged tomorrow to be prepared for winter. So that's a little more just on the non-scrap side. So scrap will definitely be slowing down a bit here. But James did say, James did pick up a couple things today. So there's some rotors that he found last night. So there's definitely might be a little less on the scrap side, but we'll definitely see how this weekend turns out. But it is supposed to kind of melt by next week. I will show you. Kind of by next week, as you can see, it'll probably be back to dumpster driving next week, maybe. So we'll have to see how this weather plays out. Alright, so James is going to run it quick. Load to the scrapyard. We're taking the batteries we got in the shed here. He's got a lift table from work, so we're going to take that in. A nice maze manner of ice. It gets better once you get past the stairs. I salted it all. I'm not walking over ice, so the 2-car batteries, the fan shrouds, parts of the fan. Well, that's good. A lot of this ice I can just scrape and get rid of. It's melted enough. Hey, one lift table. Lift table, a little bit of shred. We got kicking around, and then the batteries. Oh boy, it's windy. I don't want. Oh boy, I don't want Lee leaving around. And maybe we'll get him taken the like BX cable. Man, it's windy. Hopefully you can still hear me inside the truck. Taking the BX cable and maybe a little bit of brass or something. I'll have the room, so we'll see if we don't blow away first. Alright, I got the BX loaded up and just a couple of pieces that were of aluminum that were sitting in the yard just to get rid of them. Batteries over there, the lift table, and the 2 fan things. So I'm not a big fan of taking in small stuff, but It's just to get, I want my tote back, and then so we don't have to unload that again. So James's office is, I don't know, maybe 20 bucks.
You bring gas.
Say maybe 20, 30 bucks. Yeah, get a little bit of money back for gas that he put in yesterday. So we'll see with the receipt what he magically appears with again. Bye. I don't think, he might have thought I was going with him. I'm not going with him. I don't think I have enough time to go with him and then be back for work. So he's a big boy. He can take that little bit of stuff in himself. I mean, the lift table might be a little hard to get out of the truck, but apparently he put it in himself, so he should be able to handle it. So we'll see what he returns with. Let's say a little bit of aftermath of the snow. It's warm enough right now, so a lot of this is melted, so I'm going to go through real quick and get some of this ice off that I can. I did throw rocks out down last night, but whatever is still here, like on the edge of the sidewalk, I just kind of did it to one edge so I didn't blow all our rocks out at once. So we'll see what he returns with. Alright, so James took that load, that small little load in, and this is what we got. So for shred, 160 pounds, 130 a gross ton, so 929. The 160 obviously was mostly that lift table. Those fans, there was no way that stuff weighed more than 5 pounds. Probably wasn't even that much. That was mainly just James wanted to just take that in right away, so he didn't have to unload it and offload it. And the point of with him being able to drive on his own now is that we wouldn't have as much stuff in the yard, and that we could just make more frequent, smaller trips, and not have the big stacks of crap everywhere, to just keep the yard cleaner, to not piss off the neighbors or the town or anyone. So next was 12 pounds of old sheet at 42 cents a pound. It did come up 504. That again was mostly just the BX, and then the couple of pieces that were out behind the shed that I just wanted to get rid of because it is winter time now, so I don't want to have stuff laying out in the yard. And then I wanted my trash can back, so that's why we got rid of the BX. And then batteries, lead acid batteries, 109 pounds, 12 cents a pound, 1308 for a grand total of 27.41, rounded down to $27. Batteries, just wanted to get rid of them. Those 3 car batteries, and then that one little Power Reels battery, just to get rid of them. No, the $5 core charge at most auto places would be much better than the low 12 cents a pound. I just want to get those out of the shed. Just get them out of my way. So that's why that's why we threw the batteries on. I was gonna take the brass in too, but one of the lamps, chandeliers, whatever you want to call it, still needs to be processed. This needs to be like pulled out of it, where the actual light bulb screws in. The rest of it's all brass, so that needs cleaned up. This faucet needs cleaned up. It's another one of these styles where this just doesn't want to come off. We had it with a different one where James literally twisted it off and broke it in a bunch of pieces because it wouldn't come off. There's only a little bit of brass in this. It's mostly the copper, and then they also had the aluminum, I'm pretty sure, at least. So there's just that little bit. This is from one of them. Cleaned up the wire needs cleaned up. Yeah, these ones that he was working on as well. So that's why the brass didn't go in, because it's not quite ready. So there's all the brass from the chandeliers, and then on the bottom there's a little bit of that plumbing brass that I've found. So if the chandeliers were all done, I would have to take the brass too. $1.60 a pound, so it's a good price on that. There's my trash can that I wanted back for the wire, just to kind of stack that up. I'm kind of hoping the prices will go back up on it. I thought about having him just take this big cord that was from that floor buff, just to get that out of here, because that takes up quite a bit of space in the bin. So that's why I wanted that back. So there's still this bit of aluminum that you can't really see. There's not much in here that could have went in as well. There's the other Oric. James said the other one that I found, something's missing on it, so I may end up just parting it out. I may not actually have him sell it whole. I don't think he's looked at this one yet. So that's that. And then there's the big mound of BX, from all that BX wire that I found, which is actually the video I'm editing right about, or will edit at some point right about now. It's next one queued up. So there's all this that he's gonna strip, and then there's a little bit still in some of these bigger pieces of wire that needs pulled out, or he might keep it. I don't know what he's doing with it. But that needs to be dealt with. This needs to be cleaned up too. This big brass thing that I found, I don't even quite know what it is. That needs to be cleaned up. James, when he was doing the rearranging and cleaning everything up, he wanted all the scrap piled up in here, and kind of wanted to keep it contained to this. The problem is this is where all the buckets were for all the material when it was done. So I don't like having this big mound of crap here. This needs to be dealt with to get the bins all back and aligned, and just have to come up with some other place to like put stuff till it's dealt with. So this needs to be dealt with at some point this week. I still have all my copper. It's come up a little bit, but not at a point where I want to sell. I want to get it to at least $3 for number 2. I think it's at, I don't know, 220, 230 something, somewhere around there. So I keep holding out on that. So that's it for the scrap run. I don't know what we're gonna do this weekend. If we are gonna go out dumpster driving, we'll probably do some trash picking later in the week. I'll have to look at the weather. It kind of depends on what the weather looks like. If it's good, we'll go out and hit the dumpsters and trash up again. So that's a quick little scrap run. I don't know where this video will get thrown in. Maybe at like the end of one of the dumpster dives, or this will kind of be like a filler video, or I'll put a couple of like these small scrap trips together, kind of thing. So the videos will be out of order, but one concise theme for the video. So we'll see you again at some point.